Hey, AC here. So, another update coming from Jamie Dimon himself, the CEO of JPMorgan Chase, one of the biggest banks in the US and in the world, if I'm not mistaken. So, things are really funny right now because when you look at where AMC is sitting, this is something I mentioned kind of yesterday. This should be at minimum 25, just based on the news coming from Top Gun box office numbers on Memorial Day weekend. Only on those. So I wouldn't be really, worrying about this because, as I mentioned on another video coming from, what to expect on GameStop earnings, this might continue to run and we have a sharp reversal just like maybe tomorrow or, by the end of this week. But nothing guaranteed. Now, what I wanted to kind of give you an update on is this. Jamie Dimon. He was on a conference, I think earlier today or yesterday with, a bunch of investors. And he was, giving two major warnings. And those two major warnings are kind of summarized in this. He sees hurricane coming, but he's not sure if it's going to be another Superstorm Sandy. So let me pause here for a second. The bottom line is, it's not whether or not it's going to be something, coming. It's just the magnitude of what is coming, all right? And he's talking about two major items, that he sees having a risk ahead of us. Number one is the Federal Reserve action. The economy remains sunny at the moment with fiscal stimulation from the U.S. government still in the pocketbooks of consumers who are still pending that money. But everyone thinks the Fed can handle this, but I bet you that hurricane is right out there down the road coming our way. We just don't know if it's going to be a minor or superstorm Sandy or Andrew or something like that. So you better brace yourself. And then the next item or the second point he's kind of concerned about is around wars, because wars always go south by creating unintended consequences, such as right now, elevated prices in the commodity market around wheat, oil, gas, and stuff like that. And I believe it's going to continue to rise. Which is exactly what he's saying. Now, how does this move can move or be a catalyst for the price action into a stock like AMC if you own it? Well, here's the thing, folks. We've never been in a spot like this before. We've never been in such a scenario in the economy where on one hand we have high inflation, on the other hand we have a hot job market, on the other hand we have people sitting on, somehow some sort of still elevated amount of cash, in their bank accounts. And this is kind of related to some people. But the bottom line is we've never been in such a position. So nobody knows exactly what is going to happen. But something is sure. Something is guaranteed. The Federal Reserve is going to do something to fight that. And when they start doing, they haven't started doing, but as they continue to do so, we may not have seen yet some of the consequences of impacts of interest rates rising, on this play specifically. But the thing is, I don't care who you are. I don't care if you are Citadel. I don't care if you are Susquehanna. I don't care how big you are. Just look at what happened to Melvin Capital. They kept returning money to the capital to the clients because they were on the wrong side of trades. If you look at the price action coming here with AMC, we are already. They keep giving us confirmations after confirmations on how hard this is going to run when it does, because they just cannot continue to sustain things the way they are, because they had to go way into stretch themselves with margin, with debt, with whatever they had to do, dark pools, under the table, in the dark, to make sure millions of people holding this stock will not trade at this, price if it was just based on the law of supply and demand. So the longer they wait, the worse it's going to be for them. Especially if, as Mr. Jamie Dimon is saying, at some point, something comes along the way and it's just here to wreck everything. So it's going to be a train wreck. And when that train wreck happens, that's where we will be sitting on the sidelines collecting the attendees, because this thing is going to fly so hard and so high. So it's just a matter of, again, time. And as I mentioned at the beginning, the price action here has nothing to do with the fundamental of this play. If you still believe this is going to do what it's supposed to do, then like 10% down day like today without no news after such a boom in box office numbers, then you already know. It's kind of obvious, all right?